It's that time again.
Yep. We are Team Wester.
And you are the most important thing to us.
Team Wester
Podcast. It's all about the team.
Welcome back to another edition of the Team Wester podcast. I'm Brad Gelber, joined by my co-host extraordinaire, Ray Davis. Ray, how are you?
Doing great.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Appreciate that.
Today we have a very special guest in the house. Linebacker Dorian Williams is on with us. Dorian, thanks for being here today.
Right on. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So obviously, first off, before we get started, I just wanted to say it's actually Veterans Day today. So I just wanted to give a shout out to all the very important men and women who have served our country, both active currently and then in the past here. So, thank you on behalf of everyone at Wester here with the Team Wester podcast. We couldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the folks out there doing all of that. So thank you for serving our country. But Dorian, we're thrilled to have you here today. It's been really cool kind of getting to watch you be a part of this team and step up into a bigger role. So I think something I wanted to do for our viewers and listeners was let them get to know you a little bit more aside from just the football player. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know doing some research on you, you're originally from South Carolina, played football in college at Tulane, but who is Dorian Williams? I know it's a hard question to answer. So.
I don't know. I think my upbringing had a lot to do who I am now. From a small town in South Carolina, Indiana, South Carolina, and family just raised, just be grateful for the little things. And I always knew it was kind of a far shot, to play in the NFL or play college football, just because we haven't seen many people do it where I'm from. But I had a lot of guys in the past show me the work ethic it take to go to college and play at the next level. So having that so close to family and to family friends, that work ethic being so close, I think that kind of helped me, in building my foundation at Indiana and then at Tulane and eventually here.
Yeah. For sure.
But,
I was looking at some of your accolades, and I saw that you were second team all ACC, and then first team all ACC. So some awards for you, and then you ended up getting drafted by Buffalo in the third round. So I guess what was that whole process? Like you said, it was a situation where you thought maybe it was a long shot to even play college football, and then you find yourself getting drafted in the third round. I imagine that was all a little bit of a whirlwind for you in that process.
No doubt. Going back to Indiana, Tulane came very late in my recruiting process. We were going through our playoff game, and they called me we want you to come on and visit next week. So it was I was a surreal feeling just to be able to go down to New Orleans and be able to play football at a high level down there. And then going down, I enrolled early, so you get fall camp and spring ball early. I was 17 years old. Those guys were 22, 23. I wasn't very big. I was 200 pounds, and those guys were tossing me around. I was man. Good thing I picked Tulane. That's a great education. I always got something I can do now. Other than ball. But I know I always wanted to excel at the highest level as I could at football. So my first stipend check, I bought some weights. I was I know I got to get bigger. So I was hitting the weights every night, doing my push-ups, and eventually it all came to be. Sophomore year, we had a pretty good year. I think Ray was still there. He played with Temple.
I didn't want to. I was going to let you finish it first. And we've, I was going to correct you. AAC, not the American Athletic Conference, but no, we intertwined every once in a while. But
yeah,
they were 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. I think he beat me one time. I beat him one time.
All right, that's good. You guys are on the same page with the recollection there as well.
Yes, sir.
You've had a couple big seasons with the Bills now. One thing I wanted to ask you is what's been, I guess, the biggest learning curve for you going from college to the NFL? Because I think we've talked about that before. You hear often it's sort of the speed of the game is one of the biggest adjustments, I think, for any college player that gets to the NFL. But sort of now in your role with being one of the leaders more on defense, what do you think's been the biggest adjustment for you?
I think my rookie year was the playbook. At Tulane, we kind of ran more of a simple defense, and it worked for us. Every guys would be able to play fast and get to the ball. But after learning the playbook and everything, I think it's more of what the offense is trying to do to you. How they're trying to attack you or attack that position. Sure. So it's okay, if he's a fast flowing linebacker, we're gonna have things coming back the opposite way. You know what I mean? That he has to match and be able to see. And there was some nuances to that you have to learn, and some of them are okay, you're getting scarred. You know what I mean? Okay, I gave up that play. I'm scarred for life. I understand it now. Yeah. So having those scarred plays it's horrible to have them like on tape, but it's great to have that you have that confidence to come back and make that play next time. Like, it was nothing against your ability.
To kind of a little bit to go back, kind of we were talking about Tulane, right? And I think when you were choosing, you said you chose Tulane and you knew when guys are throwing around, at least you have something to fall back on, right? And I'm assuming that's the academic standpoint. So just talk to me about, like, how was that? Like, I went to Vanderbilt, and it was super hard coming from where I came from. Academics wasn't, like, the main focus in my point of view, I'll be honest. Right. But going to Tulane, like, how did you adjust to that academically to be able to handle football and handle how hard of a school it was?
I think it's just all about your time management. You know what I mean? I think it's big, like studying, doing homework during the week. Because I'm at Tulane, like, we're in New Orleans. Like, you're going to go out, you're going to have fun. You should enjoy that college experience. But it's also, you have a reason that you're there. You know what I mean? It's a reason that you're there. The reason is to get that education, to be able to excel at football. It was a blessing to have that. So you don't want to throw that away.
Yeah, and you graduated, right?
Yeah, I graduated.
Yeah, and I think most people tend to kind of forget that, right? Like everyone sees the end goal of being in the NFL, but then you forget, like, academically, we still work to get that degree and how important it is, to play football, but understand at the end of the day, getting the degree is a little bit outweighing it because you never know what could happen at the end of the day. So,
what was your degree in?
So I got into the B school. I was like, okay, I think this is something I want to do and have, but our academic advisor was like, hey, just to let you know, like, this is a very vigorous program. Yeah. And I was like, I want to be able to excel at school. Not stress, but be able to excel, and also be able to enjoy Tulane and what New Orleans had to offer as a city. Be able to immerse myself in the community and the culture there. So I ended up picking Homeland Security. Homeland Security. Okay. So you could do anything, cybersecurity, FBI, CIA. You can do whatever, you kind of put your mind to with that. FEMA, this is all, it's more of a broad degree,
That's cool.
It help you get outside of the office.
Yeah.
Be able to travel with FEMA, help people, natural disasters and whatnot. So that was something I could see myself doing.
Yeah. Love that. Culture-wise, you already just spoke to kind of the culture, wanting to immerse yourself in that in New Orleans. Obviously, coming to Buffalo, that's a big piece of sort of this team and this city is the culture. How has that shaped sort of your experience being here your first, couple of years now and immersing yourself more in the Western New York Buffalo culture?
It's been great. I feel like it's very similar to back home, the loving your neighbor, sticking up for each other, just our love for the Bills as well, football. Yeah. That was something it wasn't crazy at Tulane until we started winning, and it was cool to see that. But to come somewhere that was already had that established and to be a part of that and have that high standard, I think that was amazing to come into.
Did you had you ever played in snow or cold before, maybe away games in college, but you're from South Carolina, you went to New Orleans, probably wasn't as accustomed to the cold weather games?
No doubt. We had the Idaho Potato Bowl. We went to go play Nevada up there, and we had some flurries, and once I seen that, I was like, our New Orleans guys, they're not ready for this. We're down there, it's boiling in the summer, it's crazy. So that was a tough game for sure.
What about sort of the intensity? Because you have some teammates that are pretty well regarded at the position. So, Bernard, you have Matt Milano, some of these guys who have really established themselves in the league. So getting to be around some of those guys, I'm sure that's helped you grow as a player so far in your time.
Yeah, no doubt. Just their minds, they're very studious guys and have seen a lot of football. Yeah. So just they help you on the field, help you outside, just your mental, being able to adjust once you get outside the facility, you know what I mean? And that's a great group of guys we got in that linebacker room for sure.
Have you been able to kind of realize how Milano and TB have slowly taught you, your ways, and you're kind of being able to give it to Joe and Vaughn and those guys, the younger guys who came in kind of my group, right? Do you see some of the things you learned from TB and Milano you're able to give to the younger guys too?
Yeah, without a doubt. Certain keys that you see, you know what I mean? You may get them for week 1 and then you may not see them to week 8, or how they take care of their bodies, all those certain things of getting your routine, being a pro, just helping everybody else just understand hey, you're not the only one going through this stuff. You know what I mean? We're all going through something, and maybe something different at that time, but we're all going through something very similar at different times.
Yeah, and it's cool you're able to give that same insight to those younger guys that you got from the guys who are older. So that's pretty cool.
No, for sure.
Injuries are unfortunately a part of the game. Like every team goes through them. It feels like at least on the defensive side of the ball, you guys have gone through that way more than even the offensive side with some season-ending injuries. And it's been a couple weeks of like guys, big pieces sort of going down. I know it's always sort of the next man up mentality for you guys, but regardless, losing talent or leadership, like that's got to be tough. So what's that been sort of like for the defense to rally around when you lose these pieces that are playing really well, and then all of a sudden, unfortunately, they're not there anymore for you?
Yeah, I mean, on our defense, we always have that next man up mentality. It's just your shot, your chance, and that's why we coach everybody very hard on our defense. Nobody's not getting, a certain coaching point or not doing a certain drill because, there may be with the twos or the threes, but everybody's getting that same coaching point and they're held to that same standard. I think just guys being ready for their shot. We've seen guys like Jamarcus, Cam come in and make crazy plays, and that just goes to a testament to them. It's not easy at all. I mean, I think, Ray knows, during the week if you're not in that one role for that week, you're not getting many reps that week. But just always in your playbook, staying ready to be that guy when your name's called.
Yeah.
Do you remember obviously last year for me, my next man up moment was the Jets game, right? And that was kind of one of those moments where you felt like I belong here. Yeah. Do you remember your next man up moment where it was like, okay, I can play this game? And obviously it could have came rookie year, or maybe it could be even last year where you had one of your best games. It felt like I've arrived. Has it been there yet?
I wouldn't say it was like a game like I arrived. It was more like I knew I belonged in this league. I kind of with getting drafted and then playing. Matt had went down into the London game, and then we came and we played New York Giants here in my rookie year, and Saquon, he's a back.
Yeah.
So just matching that intensity that TB had, and that everybody on that defense, I knew I had to step up and be in that role, and guarding him out the backfield, making tackles on him, him complimenting you. Saquon's one of those guys in the league that is okay. When he's saying stuff, it's like, okay, I belong. You're making big plays, you're feeling yourself out there. It's like, okay, I belong. I can do this. Even though the next week, Patriots, I got took out for playing, and it's like, they were just hitting me with stuff that I haven't seen yet. I didn't know.
But you
how
had
to
your
play
moment,
it.
though.
Yeah, and you just know, okay, I understand it. I have more learning to do.
For sure. What's it been like playing for coaches specifically? Obviously, Sean McDermott's the head coach, but has a heavy influence on the defense, and Bobby Babich. Some of these guys who now you've been in their systems. Like you said, it took a little bit to get adjusted, but now feeling maybe more comfortable to the point where you can sort of play without overly thinking the playbook all the time.
For sure. And I think that was something McDermott he hyped on. He wanted guys to be able to play fast, get to the ball. So he coaches very hard on our defense, and he's a very good coach. Yeah. There's a lot of we call them pebbles, little nuances to our defense that great quarterbacks can pick up on if you're not on your stuff with hiding certain disguises and doing different things. That's not, it's just not on the playbook.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be on paper. That's stuff you have to kind of know and play within a game and play that game with a quarterback. Understanding that, I think that's major.
Yeah. Ray already sort of hit on coaching up some of the younger guys. Is it weird for you, or have you taken on sort of okay, I'm no longer the youngest guy in the room, I'm sort of now stepping into more of a veteran role, because it happens fast in the NFL, right? You guys only have X amount of years in the league, so even if you still feel newer, you all of a sudden you're expected to take on more of a veteran presence in the room, especially if guys are maybe injured or not there in the moment, sort of thing.
No doubt. Yeah, Joe. Those guys are technically older than me.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
But going back, we look to each other for help. You know what I mean? He's obviously a great special teams player.
Yeah.
He's figuring things out fast.
Yep.
So we help each other in regards of teams, help each other in regards of what we see on defense, our communication.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different things being changed throughout the week.
Yeah.
So getting with him, getting with guys like KJ that I know he's a guy that we're bringing in to start to be a guy, and Yeah, it's been great. I love it. Like, kind of not being big bro. I wouldn't say I'm that, but like just being somebody there for them. You know, to be able to talk to and communicate, let them know like, okay, we're here for you. We're hearing you. Like, I know it's tough. You know what I mean?
Yep. You know, living in Western New York, we talked about that. You know, I think one of the things I always ask you guys about is like when you're not from here and you get here, all of a sudden, like your perception of what Buffalo was or where the heck is that place? Is it in Canada? Like, I don't know. I assume it's near New York City because it's New York. Like, what was sort of your perception of Buffalo prior to being drafted, if you even had one? And then sort of what's it now become having played here for a couple of years?
Perception. I thought it was very close to New York City. I was like, it's going to be cold. I was like, but it's Bills Mafia. I kind of had like a prior experience with Bills Mafia before I got drafted. Some of the Mafia was down in New Orleans, and they like bought my food, and like, they told me like you're going to be a Buffalo Bill next year. Cool. And that was like very neat experience to have that, and then getting to meet them up here and having that experience. I think that's great, you know. But now I see how loving this community is, and how much the Bills and the Sabres and our sports teams mean to our city. And that moves me as well.
To kind of piggyback off the community part, we got a chance, and you brought the idea up last year. You know, Dorian was like, "Hey, I really want to do something. I want to get together." And we want to, you know, gift these kids in this this home who didn't have the opportunity to spend Christmas with their family or not. So to kind of talk about the community part, like, what has been your goal to really get involved in the community, right? Like, you put that together and we made that happen. We got to play basketball with the kids. It was pretty fun, right? So, like, what do you want to do? How do you want to get involved? And what do you want to see your actions really try to, like, you know, help a kid see from a small town like you to be able to make it to where you are now?
No doubt. I think I like putting my time in, like, with kids. Like like what I told Ray. I think the kids are our future. You know what I mean? Impacting their lives in a positive way is that's one of the reasons why I play football. That's something I take very, very heavily, you know. And so just having a positive impact on their life, no matter what it is, you know, if that's helping with having them something to eat, just being a role model. You know what I mean? Being a role model for them, letting them know they have somebody to talk to, somebody that has their back.
Did you were you like a football fan growing up, and if so, did you have like a favorite athlete that you sort of aspired to be like? Because I know sometimes we've talked to guys even on your team now, they just weren't even football fans, and they sort of just found themselves in the game. Other people are passionate fans and like always knew it was football. Like, I guess for you, what was your sort of journey in that regard?
Well, growing up in Carolina, you know, I was a Carolina Panther fan. Okay. And I played running back, so like naturally mine was D'Angelo Williams. Yep. And you know, he was a guy with dreads. You know, he used to dye pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I wanted like the pink socks like him. You know, I wanted to be kind of like that. I used to buy his jersey, and I was just somebody I looked up to back in the Carolina area. And then especially like having Shaq come up, like watching him grow, and I was like high school. I'm like, that's crazy to be able to play with him now. So it's a very neat experience.
I gotta tell Dan, I know him personally. My mom grew up with him, with D'Angelo. So I gotta tell him you looked up to him.
No doubt,
cool. He'll definitely love that. Love that.
What about the local food scene? So that's made to be a lot about Buffalo. I've called Ray out a couple times when we were talking about favorite wing spots, and Ray admitted even this long being in Buffalo, he didn't have a favorite spot. So I think he's maybe corrected that since then. But for you, obviously Western New York food's maybe a little different from obviously New Orleans or some other places. Have you identified certain places you enjoy going at this point, or are you still sort of very amateur to the Buffalo food scene?
Tread lightly here, because you know you have some good food out there in NOLA now.
That's what I'm saying.
Tread like
you know, you got to be able to go to all the spots. You don't want to upset anyone. You definitely got to go to all the spots. I grew up a wing guy. You know what I mean? So I love all the wings here.
Yeah, there you go. I love all the wings.
I should have took that answer.
Yeah, all of them versus none of them.
Yeah, I still get it. I'm just sad.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of good food here. Honestly, I didn't think it would be as many spots as it is, but it's a lot of like hidden spots, hole in the walls that I love. Like, that's my type of food. I don't like, you know, chain type restaurants. That's not my go-to, but like, yeah, no, I love Buffalo food for sure.
Yeah. One thing we've been asking guests on the show here this season is obviously you guys have your current stadium and then this Mecca thing being built right back here. Have you had a chance to see inside that thing yet? And if so, like, I guess just overall, what are your thoughts on being part of like the final season at the current stadium? Because that's emotional for a lot of people in a lot of different ways, fans especially, and then kind of the state-of-the-art facility being built across the street there.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a historic, stadium. I think we're all very blessed to be able to play in it.
Yeah.
For one, and then for it to be our like the last season.
Yeah.
We had the patches on our jerseys. I was like, hey, so when we're gonna have the patches every home game? Like, I need to know. Like, I need to keep those because that's like I think that's moments in history.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people have spent, their lives in that stadium. Going year after year. Having as many season ticket holders we have in that stadium, it's very special to me and then everybody on our team, and especially the fans. So that's major.
What's we've asked a lot of other guys. I even got asked this question. I haven't even spent that many years here. But what was one of your like favorite key moments in the stadium? That you got to be involved or you got to witness.
Oh man, I would say that Pittsburgh playoff game. Mm-hmm. It was it snowed crazy before. We had people, they were paying people to shovel it out, and then it was coming down too much that they couldn't get it cleared out. Yeah. So it was just they were sitting in snow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And Josh had the crazy play, and they would just throw the snow up. That's magical to me. You know what I mean? Like I get goosebumps thinking about that. Like I love it.
We asked the offensive guys a lot about the you mentioned Josh, just like witnessing his moments, kind of these freak moments where he sort of just like goes into a different mode. And even Ray said, we've asked other guys on offense, you almost become, Dawson Knox has said this many times, you become almost like a fan in the moment, like watching, even when you're on the field with him. Obviously you guys on defense, you're thinking about other things, or you're focusing on when you get back out there sort of things. But I imagine there's moments where even you're on the sideline sort of watching Josh. And as a defender, I'm sure you have a different respect for having to play against a quarterback like that sort of thing. So watching Josh sometimes in your time here, has there been any, you don't have to say the specific moment, but I guess just overall kind of like, have you had moments like that where you're just sort of like, oh wow, like you're kind of a fan there
without
too?
A doubt. I mean, I think the whole defense, he gets to run around back there. We're all standing up. It's like, we see the iPad there, coach, but it's like you see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like this is something you have to see in person. You know what I mean? To really believe some of the stuff that he can get done out there. So I mean, I'll stand up on the bench plenty of times to watch what he has going on out there. He gets it going, and just to see that confidence out there. I think that trickles through the whole team.
For sure. So I wanted to ask a couple questions for both of you guys, just maybe some insight that the fans don't always get. So some like locker room questions of, you both can weigh in or give different opinions. Who would you say is the funniest guy in your locker room or on the team right now? And if it's yourself, that's fine too. But who's like the funniest teammate you have on the team right now?
Yeah, right.
It's your interview, it's not mine. I'm the interviewee. I'm giving you the interview.
Oh man, let me think. Who's the funniest guy? We got some funny people, man. We got some funny people. Let me think.
Even if it's not jumps to your head right away, someone that makes you laugh on the team.
Man, Vandy.
Yeah.
Vandy's pretty funny too.
Yeah. What do you think, Ray?
Frank Gore Jr.
Frank's funny.
Franklin Demetrius Gore Jr. Full name right there. That's the funniest individual in the world.
Some different shout outs there. You kind of alluded to it maybe already based on your major, but if you weren't playing football, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Well, with my degree. But no, I think I would be a coach. Like if everything out the window, I think I would be a coach. I think it's a certain point where you can impact a young man's life, especially like in football. So I would do like high school. I don't know if I would want to do college. I think that's a lot, a lot now especially. But high school football, I think you can have that impact on somebody's life that could change it forever.
For sure. Yeah. Ray, I don't know if we've ever asked you that, but what do you think you'd be doing if it wasn't for football?
We
did that maybe at the panel we did.
I would just say I'd be coaching. I'd be coaching basketball. I coached basketball last year in the summer, and I think it's pretty cool. And kind of like you were saying, you're just able to impact someone's life, and to know that you've been through the same experiences that they're about to go through, and you could potentially have the blueprint to help them get through some some ways to make their situation a little bit better. So I think that would be pretty cool. But with my degree, I'd be doing what you're doing. Probably just, ESPN, maybe doing some sideline analysts, broadcasting, something like that.
In terms of pregame playlists, so do you have a favorite artist? Do you like all different types of music? Like, what gets you going before the game?
Yeah, you listen to country.
I love country music, but that's like outside of ball. Like getting there. Yeah,
so
I gotta
like country,
get.
but it doesn't get you like hyped up
like right after the game, I can listen to some country. To kind of calm down, try and get some sleep.
There.
On the way there, it's like I feel like we're going to war. Me personally, you know what I mean? Like I gotta get in that headspace of like, hey, like it's kill or be killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I listen to a lot of like hard rock, rap.
Okay.
Yeah, just
What are we talking, like EDM rock? What are we talking about?
Any artists?
I don't know if you know like Du Hast.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Du Hast.
No.
Yeah, they people know.
Don't know who that is.
What about you, Ray? Is there anyone that like is on your pregame?
Come on,
playlist?
man. Rodarius Wave.
Okay.
Come on, man. My guy. If it ain't him, Lil Durk.
Okay.
If it ain't Lil Durk,
yeah.
no cap. That's it.
All right. Last thing I'll ask you, that's sort of the locker room or get to know section here. Any hidden talents or hobbies that maybe people don't know or your teammates don't even know about you that you want to feel brave enough to share here?
I would say I have a pretty big green thumb.
Okay.
I love my plants at the house.
Yeah.
I wanted a dog. I'm like, nah, that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Like I want him to be able to go out and live life, like be able to exercise. And I know sometimes I get home, I don't want to do anything. I want to go.
For sure.
I just gotta watch film, go to bed.
Yeah.
But I would say I have a green thumb. I have probably about 12, 15 plants at the house.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So how does your plants feel about the weather change right now? There's no sun.
They're not loving it right now, but it's all good. Springs is great.
If they need anything, let me know.
Okay,
I got you.
Appreciate it.
What about you, Ray? Is there any hidden talent that you have that people don't know about?
Nah.
I think there is. You just don't. You just don't know. But I'm sure you have plenty of hidden.
I'll find out
talents
someday.
All right, so transitioning to the last piece here, obviously we just went through the trade deadline, which I can imagine for any player that's sort of a anxiety-producing time, depending on who you are on the team, your contract, all those sort of things. But there was quite a bit of movement around the league this year. As players, do you guys pay attention to that stuff at all? Do you look to, because I've asked players before, and sometimes they're like, yeah, I found out about the trade on Twitter like everyone else sort of thing. We don't have inside knowledge of it, but do you guys pay attention to that, even moves the Bills could be making, or even thinking about yourself or guys you're friends with on the team? Or is it really just no, we can't pay attention to any of that, it's business as usual, and if something happens, it happens type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very tough, to be like, oh, I don't worry about the trade deadline.
Sure.
Because you could be gone, have to pick up your whole life and move it to a different city and make new friends, and you never know how that change is going to go. You know how things are here, you know the system, how we do things, So I would lie saying there's no anxiety with that, but I think I have a certain faith that it'll all work out.
Sure.
And I pay attention to what's going on in the league. I want to see what guys are doing. It's not fancy football, but I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? I want to see what moves teams are making, what what they're thinking. I think it's very, very neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything you said. I mean, I find out Twitter, I go on ESPN, I'll look around, but you definitely have to have that sense of worriness just because you don't know, what can happen. So much uncertainty there, but like you say, you just kind of leave it in God's hands and keep your faith in whatever needs to happen is going to happen.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting just hearing sort of Brandon Beane talk about the trade deadline after it passed and sort of, maybe voicing some frustration that takes two sides to want to do a deal. Because, as fans, you're sort of, or even fantasy football implications, you're thinking oh, it's so easy. You just call a team and trade trade, marquee players and swap them or whatever. But it's like his role is so much more encompassing of like, if he calls someone, it doesn't mean they answer the call and that sort of thing. So just as a fan, it's always interesting to hear inside perspective from the general manager as well. Obviously, you guys find yourselves in a position that's maybe a little different from past years. Like you've had obviously a great deal of regular season success and won the division for a number of years in a row. So I know several years ago, it came down to the last week of the season to beat New England to win the division, and then ended up beating them in the first round of the playoffs, which was a lot and exciting for the fans, but probably anxiety as well. But this year, obviously, you find yourself sort of looking at New England ahead of you at the moment, at least. So we've talked plenty of times about you can't get too far ahead of yourself. Goal is to always win the division first, and then because that means you did your job, and then you go into the playoffs and take it from there. So I imagine at this point, no one's panicking. It's sort of just business as usual to keep trying to accomplish that goal of winning the division, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I think every week you gotta go 1-0. You know what I mean? You're not thinking. I'm not worried about what are other teams doing just because you have so much you have going on in your week. You know what I mean? So, we're just looking to go 1-0 every week, and we got to find ways to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to take care of your plate. You can't go for seconds until you get the first plate. Yep. So that's kind of all we got to worry about.
Yeah. How was it? I know obviously the result wasn't what you wanted in Miami, but going from like all of a sudden it's snowing here and freezing cold, and then you guys are down there and it did look hot. Like you could tell the guys it was hot, and maybe you're used to playing in the heat or whatever, but it has to be a pretty big shift when you're here and then all of a sudden you go down to South Florida and it's 90 degrees warmer there than it is here, sort of thing.
Yeah, no doubt. It was warm. Man. I got off the bus. I was like,
yeah,
like, Balin, it's kind of it's kind of thick, isn't it? The weather, man. The weather's kind of thick, but I mean, there's no excuse. We got to go out there and play ball. Like I'm a big believer in like the other teams going through it. Like
sure,
like when they come up here, like there's no factor about the cold. Like you got to play through it, bro, and just put your best stuff out there. Like make something happen.
Yeah.
I'm from California, so we're used to it.
Yeah. Obviously, Ray, I did want to ask you, you've had a couple different roles with special teams lately. You've been returning kicks a bit here, and then you had the surprise play there on the onside kick where you came on. So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about that, because even listening to the broadcast, they were talking about during the game, your specials team coach always has intent in everything you guys do. So it's not some haphazard, like, hey, we're going to run Ray out there and do this thing we've never practiced before. So kind of what was the thought process behind you doing the onside kick there? Was it, I think the way they explained it, if this is true, was essentially it gives you guys another guy on the special teams unit that can sort of rush the ball and try to recover it versus maybe a traditional kicker who wouldn't be as prone to being able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you just look at kind of a lot of opportunities to gain advantages, right, on the field. And I think that was just one of those moments that we said, hey, this is a chance for us to kind of go, get the ball at this moment. Like you said, add another defender in there who can tackle. And I'm on special teams where I do have to tackle, so I bring that element. But I think it's just the more you can do. You know, that's really the biggest thing that I've tried to tell myself throughout my season so far is just the more you can do and the more opportunities you'll get. So like I said, when I told him I can kick a field goal, I screamed it to the entire world, and we got it done, manifestation. And then I was like, I want to kick it onside someday and hopefully recover it. So manifested that, and it happened. So it was a cool moment. Obviously, I would have loved to win the game and recover the kick, but it'll definitely go down as something I can tell my kids that I got to kick a field goal and an onside kick in an NFL game. So it's cool.
Is that something you guys like? I imagine you don't practice it often, but has it been practiced before? Because like you said, it's almost like even when you're with the twos versus the ones, like you have to stay mentally ready, but it doesn't mean you're doing it every week or practicing it all the time, sort of thing.
Yeah, you always want to practice. You don't just go into situations where it's like there hasn't been a practice. There's just going out there in limbo, and you always want to make sure that you're doing things with intent, like they said, and everything that I do is with intent and is going to try to be performed to the best of this ability. And so obviously there was some practicing with that.
Dorian, what was the rest of the team like? Were they excited to see Ray out there?
Oh, no doubt, man. I mean, on the sideline, like as a defense, we didn't know what we know was going on because we've seen it before. The first time, going and seeing him kick a field goal, we were like, yo, was that Ray?
Yeah.
Yo, was that Ray? I didn't let him kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, we're going to let Ray kick the field goal. And,
Yeah.
and he showed us he can do it, man. And that's, like, I think that's very neat. Probably a lot of guys wanted to be, like, they wanted to probably have a tryout for that job. They probably all wanted to kick a field goal after that.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, bro, Ray can actually kick. You know? So,
for sure.
yeah, but nah, it's very cool, very neat to see him have those opportunities, and we all understand having that extra body of getting it in there and trying to get that ball back to us.
For sure. So last thing, wrapping up here, obviously you guys have a big game coming up this weekend versus Tampa Bay, who's had a lot of success this season so far. Not maybe an opponent you guys play all too often, obviously, but they're, you're next up here. Just lost to New England, obviously, last week, but they've had like a very good season. Baker Mayfield's certainly a dog in and of himself. So in preparing for that team coming up, is there anything that, you can identify without us being experts in your craft of sort of just like getting ready for that game this weekend?
Yeah, I think matching that intensity. You know, Baker's going to come with a lot of intensity and how he do things and how he command his guys. So we just got to match that and play our game, man. I think we have a very talented group here. And I think when we're all on the same page, we're all doing our jobs, I think we're a very good team.
Yeah. Ray, how about you on the offensive side? Like, obviously, attacking the defense and doing what you guys need to do, or even the special team side of things. But any wisdom in the plan this week here?
Yeah, just staying focused and staying true to ourselves. And we know what they bring from a defensive perspective. I mean, obviously their head coach is their DC and Todd Bowles. He's a great coach. And he's always going to throw different things at you from a blitz perspective. And then obviously, their front seven is really good, and the back end is really good too. So just staying true to who we are and going out there and playing, Buffalo Bills ball and letting things take care of what it needs to take care of.
For sure. Yeah. Well, good luck this weekend, guys. It's we're all pulling for you. And Dorian, thanks for taking the time today. It was cool to get to know you a little bit and hear your story. And we wish you nothing but the best for the rest of the season.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Team West Herr podcast. For Ray Davis and Dorian Williams, I'm Brad Gelber. We'll see you next time.